Hello, my name is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's lesson, I'll be showing you guys how to play I Don't Care, a new release from Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber. I'll start you guys off with a little demo of what we'll be learning in this video, and then we'll break it down. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's all we're going to get through in this video. That's everything up until the first chorus. But of course, we'll finish off this melody version arrangement over at HDpiano.com. And along the way, we'll be approaching this song from all sorts of different angles. I'll talk about how to play this song if you're an accompanist, as in taking out the melody entirely, backing up a singer, or backing up yourself. We'll look at ways to simplify. It's amazing what just a little pedal and slowing the tempo down can do. Alright, so we'll look at some simplification options. We'll also look at ways to make it a little more pianistic, a little more advanced, something like... Alright, a little soulful at the end there. Just kind of riffing on the pre-chorus there. So we'll look at all sorts of different ways to interpret this song. There are many ways that a simple pop song like this can translate to the piano, and I think this one's going to be pretty popular, so I wanted to make a lesson that covered as much ground as possible. So before we dive in, a couple notes. At the beginning, I kind of faked you guys out here. This was sounding 2 octaves higher, just like on the recording. But I didn't think it was worth the screen real estate, so, I just kind of faked it to get the sound. So you can play these 2 notes as high as you can on your keyboard or piano, D flat and G flat. Number 2, I'm using an upright piano sample. Typically, I use a very clean, crisp, grand piano sample, but it was just too jarring and cutting and punchy for this, very humble, kind of lighthearted melody version. So I just wanted to point that out because I think, depending on the instrument you're playing, this might come across in different ways. Okay, before I dive in, one quick question for you guys. Comment below, have you ever just left a party? If you were at a party that you didn't want to be at, what would you do? I'm a fan of the Irish exit. When it comes down to it, you got to just kind of walk out sometimes. So tell me a story down in the comments about that time you left a party. We are in the key of G flat major. I'm very sorry about that because it means we have 6 flats. G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat, D flat, E flat, F natural, and G flat. But the good news is this song is entirely diatonic, so we will only ever be seeing those 7 notes. So if you're familiar with these 7 notes, you won't be aimlessly hunting for, the next note that you hear in your head. You'll be like, well, it has to be one of these 7. All right, so it's very important to know that major scale. Helps inform the whole song. Okay, the first notes we play with our right hand are D flat and G flat, and you can play them wherever you have space up the keyboard. And now is where I talk about the pop clave. So you'll recognize this rhythm. It's another rhythm from Shape of You, for example, that Ed Sheeran song. Right? I call it the pop clave, and we just hear it all over the place. 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2, and it's a 2-beat rhythm, and I want you to play that along with me on D flat and G flat. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the backbone of this song, and in the intro, we have 2 measures of intro. We're just going to add in a little left hand on the 2nd and 3rd hits of that pop clave on a G flat and B flat right below middle C. 3, 4. All right, so pause the video. Make sure that you have that rhythm nice and solid under your fingers, because it's got to be really consistent, really in the pocket, so to speak, so that the melody can sit nicely on top of it. Okay, on the fourth repetition of that pop clave, we're just going to do one little thing to emulate the kind of production vocal riff that we hear on the record. And it's just going to be a D flat and an A flat up to a D flat and a B flat. So here's the whole intro. Now up to that new thing. And then we're going to jump way down. So here is where we're going to just focus on the left hand for a bit. And again, this pop clave will continue, but first things first, let's just look at these chords. We have G flat major, and this is kind of a shell voicing, just a very sparse chord. We have G flat, D flat, and G flat in our left. We're going to play this for 2 measures. Next chord is E flat minor, E flat, G flat, and B flat. 2 measures of that. Then we go to C flat major. Again, we have kind of a sparse shell voicing. We don't have the major third in there. C flat, G flat, and C flat. And then we condense to D flat major, which is just a step down from E flat minor. D flat, F, and A flat. And then we go back to G flat. Let's just play through the rhythm, the harmonic rhythm of the song with just whole notes in the left. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, switch to E flat minor, 2, 3, 4, again, 2, switch to C flat major, 2, 3 to D flat major, 2, 3 to G flat major. All right, that is our 8-bar loop, and that is going to continue throughout the entirety of the song. So let's add a little rhythm to that left-hand part. We know the pop clave, so how are we going to make it work? Well, this would be one option, and this might be a simpler place to start if you want to add some rhythm, because you don't have to think about alternating between any notes. All right, so that's maybe the first thing you want to get under your fingers, but if that's easy for you, then we can move right along to the bottom note followed by the top 2 notes twice. So we go bottom, top, top, bottom, top, top. Next chord. Next chord. Next chord. Next chord. All right, let's slow it down just a little bit. 3, 4. Now play along if you can. Here comes the switch, E flat minor. Remember, we're keeping it nice and light and staccato. Maybe not staccato, but just fairly short. Switch to D flat, and back to G flat. Okay, so file that away. We've learned the left-hand part, and that is pretty much all we need to know for the left hand for the entirety of the piece. Let's look at the right hand. The melody is very simple. It does have a lot of 16th notes, so it might be a little challenging if your fingers can't re-articulate fast enough. So always just, slow down a little bit. Set your metronome back to, 80 or 90 beats per minute. The recorded tempo is 102 beats per minute. And work your way up. So, the verse only has 3 notes, my friends. Couldn't get any easier. G flat, A flat, and B flat. It's almost like we're learning this song. Right? We have just 3 notes in the right, and I'm not going to spoon feed them to you. I'm just going to slow way down and play through the verse with rhythm. Looks like this. And just, it's important to know the lyrics so that you can kind of follow along. I'm at a party I don't want to be at. Follow that upward motion, that downward motion. Oh, it's like, ooh, that one was the high note. That was B flat. Right, so track those changes in the melody, and I think it should be pretty simple. So here we go, nice and slow. 3 and 4 and 1 E and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a 1 and 2, E and a 3, E and a 4. There you have it. That's the entire verse. So the first two measures basically repeat. Then we see something a little different over the C flat and D flat chords. And then we return back to that first phrase. So the form of the melody is kind of like A, A, B, A. We have this option A, option A, option B, and back to option A. Now, if we put that over the left hand, we might want to start with just 2. Whole notes in the left. And then when you're ready, maybe start with this option. All right, and then once you've got that down, nice and slow, start slow and work your way up. Then add the full left-hand part, and you'll be cooking with fire. Now, remember to stay relaxed. There's a lot of notes in the right hand. Even though there's just 3 notes, there's a lot of repetitions of those 3 notes, and it's easy to get tense, so just stay relaxed and slow down as much as necessary. I'm going to go ahead and play through the verse at a nice slow tempo for practice purposes, and then we'll move into that pre-chorus. All right, so that's the verse. Now the pre-chorus, the left hand is going to stay much the same, and we're just going to see a slightly more, open, singable melody. It takes on a new character. We have more 8th notes rather than 16th notes. I'm also realizing we're kind of running short on time in this video, so I'm just going to play through this pre-chorus nice and slow for you guys, and then we'll pick up where we left off over at HDpiano.com, and we'll finish learning it. So here we go from the pre-chorus. Whoops. And there we are at the first chorus. So, couple of notes. You don't have to play the octaves or the harmonies in the right hand. You can just take the top note. That's the melody. And just pay attention to a couple minor variations that are in the left-hand part. Again, we'll break all this down over at HDpiano.com here in just a sec. So I hope to see you there. And it's been a pleasure thus far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this lesson. My name is Devin, and we'll see you shortly. But while I have you here, please like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That way you'll know about all of our upcoming lessons. All right, see you soon.